So now we are going to move some insert some values to that particular table st23. So in order to we get some name from the keyboard, like we use name is equal to input enter your name, then age is equal to input enter your age. So hereafter, so to insert some values to a particular table, we use insert command. Insert into our table name is st23. We are already created in the MySQL database. So then values, then in the bracket we use some percentages strings. So this is used to avoid such a type of attacks like SQL injection attack. So that values here we can externally specify in one variable is called val. So here we need to insert this name and age to our table st23. So that value we can externally specify here, name and age. Here we use the name variables for storing the name and age variables for storing the age. So that name and age here we can externally specify. So now this val contains name and age. So though this insert statement is entirely in the SQL1 variable. So this query is stored in SQL1 variable. So we need to execute that query. To execute that query, we use this cursor variable. We already created one connection cursor is called my cursor. So to execute any query in the Python MySQL connectivity, we use cursor variable dot execute. Cursor variable is my cursor, then dot execute, then in bracket our query is stored in SQL1, that is insert into table name values. Then we also externally specify the values are stored in val variable. So this is automatically converted to mysql.execute insert into st23 values name comma age. So after executing insert statement we need to commit. So we use another SQL command commit for storing that all the data to particular database. So after this commit statement is also saved in SQL2 variable SQL2. So this is also need to execute. So with all the SQL statements we are used, then after we need to execute that. So again we use my cursor, the same cursor used here, my cursor dot execute SQL2 means commit. So we insert one and after that execute that commit also. So to check, then we move to the MySQL prompt. So we need to check that value is, so before we need to run that program. I forgot to run that program. Here we need to run that program, run module. So here I enter my name, then I set my age 25. So now error. So which means that value is already stored to that particular table. So here in order to identify that, I use here is select select star from our table name. Table name is st23. Oh, look at that name Debu and age is inserted here. So this is the way to insert some values from Python program to our MySQL database. This is the basic step. I think everyone is understand about this Python MySQL connectivity program.